When you glue up the cone for your passive amplifier, the first thing you need to do is just take some fine sandpaper and just keep your board flat and run it along the edges. There's some little chips from the bandsaw that we want to make sure we get off before we start gluing up, or they'll get in our glue joint and throw it out of alignment. It doesn't take very much, just a couple passes on each corner, and that'll knock those chips off. When I'm sanding these, I'm putting the board at just a small angle off of horizontal or off of flat, and just so I can take those chips off so they don't get in my glue joint. When we glue this up, we're going to place the 4 pieces next to each other like this, and then we're going to roll them onto each other. So we're going to need a couple pieces of tape set down on the table. Take some masking tape, just set it flat against the table with the sticky side up. Two pieces should be plenty. So I'll set my first board on the side like this and stick it down to the tape. I don't want this extra tape sticking off the side that'll affect my glue joint, so you can take one of the utility knives in the cabinet and just cut that right along the edge, and that'll come right off then. Then place your next piece right next to it. It's really important that these are tight, so set your board on the other joint and kind of slide it down onto the table. Same thing with the next one. Now my tape is kind of going the wrong direction here, so I'm just going to rip it and then place it underneath this side. And the same thing with the next one here, just kind of slide it down and make sure that it's a really tight joint. Next, I'm going to place some glue in the joints. Do not put too much glue in. If we have glue squeezing all over the place, it's going to really affect how this takes stain. It's not going to stain very well at all. So just a really light amount of glue is all you need. Once you have it in there, you just kind of take your finger and spread it around. You only need glue on one side. Now that there's glue in, you can roll the cone up. So I'm going to roll up this joint, roll the next one, and then roll the final one nice and tight like this. Once I have them the way I want them, I can take this tape and bring it back around like that. This same thing here, I'll move the rest of this tape down and around like that. Take a look at your joints. They should be very tight. It shouldn't be any wiggle here at all. If there's some small gaps, like what you see here, just a tiny gap, that's okay. We're going to fill those with wood filler. See, there's a small crack here. That's pretty insignificant. But if there's a big gap, or if it moves back and forth, or if there's a bunch of glue sticking out, we're going to have to fix that before the glue dries, because there is no redos on this after the glue is dry. If you have a bunch of glue poking out in the middle, there's a couple beads here on mine, that's not too bad. Take a wet paper towel and you can wipe that out. Make sure you have your name on here so that doesn't get mixed up.